Bookmarks is unique in the country in that we're a nonprofit literary arts organization first and foremost. We started as a book festival, which now we're the largest annual book festival in the Carolinas. And then we have this nonprofit bookstore. So every book that we put on our shelves, every author that we bring to talk to schools or author that we bring to speak to the community is carefully chosen by our staff to serve some need in the community. So like most of our connections that we make in the community, someone who we've worked with before will suggest we talk to somebody else, and that is how I got to meet Rebeca Segrebre. So I was really excited to get to work with Rebeca on stocking a lot of their books that they publish in the bookstore, creating this Spanish-speaking book club to fill a big need, a big gap in the community.
My name is Rebeca Segrebre, and I'm the Executive Director for Mujer Valiosa community, which is Valuable Woman community here in Winston-Salem, and we work with the Latino community. Jamie, right away, she embraced what we do because it's so close to what Bookmarks does. And our books now are in Bookmarks, our Spanish books. If you go to Libros en Español, you'll see our Wipil books there. And that's the way we started.
Book with Purpose program started 3 years ago, really as an answer to how do we talk about difficult things in our community with people who are from all different walks of life, to help connect each other a bit better, to help us connect with things outside of our community, outside of our country. And then this year, as we started thinking about what topics do we want to cover, what book is out there that really helps us address an issue that is very prevalent and concerning for a lot of our community, and we came across Dear America through that research.
I'm happy to be here because my first book, Dear America, Notes of an Undocumented Citizen, is being featured at the festival, at the book festival. And the book was born 5 years ago, and I did not anticipate that it would keep living. You know, I don't know what, because I guess as a journalist, I'm so used to like, you write the story and it's done. You know, with books, they last.
What does it mean to find home? What does it mean to celebrate identity and find belonging? And I think those are the universal themes of Dear America that have been able to connect to so many people from so many different walks of life.
That's why the first sentence is, I don't know where I'll be when you read this, and the last sentence is, you know, my mother literally telling me maybe it's time to come home. Because I wrote it actually intending to leave, intending to self-deport. Because at that point, I just didn't know how long I could be here as like a walking, unsolvable problem. It's more important to make sure that young people can read about lives that may not be their own. Like, you know, for some people, reading the book may be like a mirror, right? They're seeing something. And I loved hearing from people who are like, oh, I went through that. I'm going through that. But I think it's also important for books to be like doors, if not windows, where you're like, whoa, I didn't know that's happening here.
Immigration is not just about Latinos. Immigration is about, oh my goodness, it's, if you go to the schools, when they bring the ESL students, we have people from Yemen, Afghanistan, here in Winston-Salem. And we're the first ones that are surprised. You know, also, we have people from Venezuela and Guatemala and everywhere. So it's a real, immigration is a real issue.
Especially with Dear America, as we've wanted to reach more into our Latinx community, these are issues that they are dealing with every day that they can't escape by shutting the book and putting it on the shelf. How do we bring the focus and attention to our community members who really need it the most? And I think Rebeca and the work that they are doing has done that. Big part of the ARPA funding for Book with Purpose this year has been just helping us increase the access to this book. We haven't wanted anyone to have to purchase this book. That's allowed us to put copies of all 4 editions of the book into all 10 library branches, into all 81 public K-12 schools. So that has been really incredible to see the amount of books we've been able to give out this summer. It's almost 5,000 books.
So I was able for the first time ever work with Hispanic League, working with schools, working with the library, working now with Bookmarks in a real project together, and with the Arts Council. So this is the power of community, the power of collaboration, and the power of having funds going the right way, directed the right way. So thank you so much for it.
Whether it's constant check-ins or coming to the programs that we do, just something that seems very simple, but it actually means a lot to Bookmarks and to the other organizations that the Arts Council funds, to have them actually show up in that very visible and present way. So that's really what we are about, is that creating that connection. We use the words cultivating community very intentionally rather than creating community, because community already exists here. We have a very rich community in Winston-Salem, but how can we help to cultivate that and make it stronger?
To me, the best kind of storytelling is the one that challenges me to think about myself and my place in the community. And I think the arts, at a time in which citizenship is into question, and I'm not just talking about what it means to be, because I'm not a citizen of this country, right, legally, but I actually think, and I think I mentioned this in the book, like there's a greater citizenship, which is participation. Like, how do we show up for each other? And I think the arts in this country, where we are right now, culturally, I think it may be the only way that we can see each other and make sure to remind each other that stories are complex because people are complex.